Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're going to be talking about a departure. Of course, we talked about Osimhen yesterday. We're going to be talking about a departure, and that is regarding Eddie Nketiah. Now, the reports are Fulham are in pole position to sign Eddie Nketiah, and Arsenal are reluctant slash open to accepting the offer. The bid is around £30 million. That is what we are seeing rumours of. Whether we get £30 million, I highly doubt it, just with Arsenal's history of selling players. But that's the news for today. Yeah, let's discuss it. Firstly, Eddie Nketiah. How was Eddie this season? Eddie Nketiah has unfortunately ended the season as third choice striker. So for me, I do think Eddie Nketiah will leave this season. I think he's one of those players that is not happy to just stay on the bench. Of course, when we saw the Amazon documentary, it seems like one of those players that he's quite hungry. He wants to get minutes, and I do think that he will be off. He will be leaving Arsenal next this summer. Where does he go? We do not know. Of course, he's come from Hayland. He's playing in the Premier League, so I do think he will play in the Premier League. And I do think, in fact, I do think he can start for a few Premier League teams. I'm just looking at like teams at West Ham. I think he can do a job at West Ham. Yeah, I think there are a few teams, even Fulham. He's still young. I think he's like 24 or something, so he still has time to develop into a striker. In terms of Eddie Nketiah at Arsenal, Eddie Nketiah, I do feel he's had a. I'll be honest. I think he's been decent. I think when he's been called, he's never been a starting 11. So I don't think we can ever judge him of a starting 11 quality player. But what he has done is whenever he's been asked to do a job, he's come in and done it. And I do think that sometimes Eddie Nketiah has been made a scapegoat for Arsenal this season. It's not just this season, last season as well. I do think he has been made a scapegoat. I do feel that because when other fans' favourites are not playing too well, I do think Eddie Nketiah, when he's playing, he gets the stick of that, which I believe is so unfair. I do think, the way if a player performs bad, that's not on anyone but that player. You can't blame another player for a player stinking it up. And this season with Eddie Nketiah, if you actually remember the start of the season, he actually did start as our number 9. And of course, the biggest highlight of the season from Eddie Nketiah was that hat trick, that brilliant hat trick against Sheffield United. And yeah, look, if we are trying to compete for the league, let's be honest, yeah, you have to improve. And is Eddie Nketiah going to be that player that can probably win you the Premier League? Probably not. I don't think Eddie Nketiah, unfortunately, can win us the Premier League. And I think it's time where Arsenal have to be ruthless. I think as fans as well, we have to be ruthless. I'm sure there are a lot of Arsenal fans that would be sad for Eddie Nketiah leaving. Of course, he's come from the academy. He supported Arsenal, I believe. And I think he's actually come from the Chelsea academy as well. So, of course, some fans will be sad for Eddie Nketiah leaving. And, he's actually a big favourite of Mikel Arteta's as well. Whenever Mikel Arteta seems to trust Eddie Nketiah a lot, of course, near the end of the season, that point is hard to believe. But, you saw multiple times, even last season, even actually this season, when the games are getting tough, he always does bring on Eddie Nketiah. I think it's just because he trusts him. He believes he's one of those players that are going to give 100%. Even if they're playing poor, they're going to give 100%, which I do believe. I do believe Eddie Nketiah does give 100%, and maybe that 100% simply just isn't good enough. Maybe he just lacks that quality. But he can only, we going from the academy. I don't think we can expect him to score 20 goals or 30 goals a season. Yes, some fans might say that he's a professional footballer, but when you're looking at it, he's come from the academy. When he comes on, he does a job. He does as much as he can. But yeah, and actually, one thing about Eddie Nketiah, he actually is probably he's probably our only out and out striker. He is a striker. Of course, maybe he might not be the best striker, but he is a striker. So of course he did offer that. He did offer something different. But unfortunately, when you are trying to compete for the league and you are trying to win the title, squad players are simply not good enough. You need players that can come on and bring change. You need players that can start and elevate your team. And unfortunately, I just don't think Arsenal and Arteta see Eddie Nketiah as that player. I do think he will be a bench player if he does stay, but I don't think he's happy to be a bench player, because if you look at it, he ended up from going second choice striker to all the way to third. He ended up going behind Kai Havertz, and I'm sure if a game was to speed tomorrow, Arteta will pick Kai Havertz ahead of Eddie Nketiah. So, and with Eddie Nketiah's mentality, I don't think he will be happy to stay on the bench. But in relation to the price, let's be honest, £30 million, I would be surprised if you get more than 20 million, because the way Arsenal sell players, for the life of us, Arsenal cannot sell players. I don't know why. We sold Bernd Leno for I think £3 million, a Premier League player, Premier League proven goalkeeper, and with Eddie Nketiah, I'll be surprised if we get more than flipping 20 millions, because it seems Edu is allergic to negotiations. It seems that we are always getting mugged, or we're always overplaying for players. So I don't know if we're actually going to get 30 million. If we somehow get 30 million, you know, Edu deserves a statue, because 30 million for Eddie Nketiah, especially when you look at them. Actually, you know what? When you look at the market, 30 million for Eddie Nketiah is not a bad price. He's played in the Premier League. He's young. Yeah, and he's none of this false nine type of strikers. He's actually a centre forward. So if Edu cannot get £30 million from Eddie Nketiah, yeah, Edu needs to flipping resign or leave or something, because that is a complete disgrace if he cannot get £30 million for Eddie Nketiah. And you know what? The actual other thing, this will be pure profit. Eddie Nketiah has come from the academy. £30 million pure profit. Like, we don't pay for anything. We don't pay anything to sign him. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Eddie Nketiah. Unfortunately, you know, the way it's come to an end for Eddie Nketiah is a bit sad. But you know, when we are trying to win the title, unfortunately, emotions do not help. So yeah, exactly. Like when we lost the title, I don't think any Arsenal fan were thinking about, oh, if only we kept this player. You know, when it comes to winning, you have to be ruthless, and that's exactly what Manchester City are. They've got rid of Aguero. They've got rid of David Silva. They're gonna get rid of Kevin De Bruyne soon. So it's time we be ruthless. It's time we start getting rid of Deadwood, start elevating our team, because if we want to win stuff, that is the only way to win, to be ruthless. So to all the Eddie Nketiah fans, sorry, but you know what, things do come to an end. It's football, okay? Football is part of that, and I'm sure wherever he goes, he will get a chance to shine. But unfortunately, it just won't be at Arsenal. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you feel about Eddie Nketiah. Are you sad he's leaving? Like I said, I do think that sometimes he was made a scapegoat, even by me, which was like, looking back now, it was so stupid. I should have not blamed him for some of the performances. You can't blame a whole result, a whole performance over one player. It's the whole team. But yeah, let me know in the comments, are you sad about Eddie Nketiah leaving? Drop me a comment if you think Edu will somehow get more than £30 million, which I highly doubt. And let me know in the comments if you think he's going to go for a Premier League club, or are you happy for him to stay? Let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.